This is part 2 to video number 4. In this video, we're going to take a look at examples of putting together an actual personalized weight loss plan. And not only am I going to show you the plan, I'm also going to show you what a typical day might look like if you were following that plan. Right? So all we got to do is scroll down a little bit and we can start to put this together. All right, remember, there are 7 parts to the plan. This particular plan, I lied. I forgot. I actually did put together this plan already. And I wrote it all down. This particular plan is one of the most standard plans that I use with my clients. It is one that a lot of people choose to start with because it's very safe. There's a really high likelihood that you're going to be losing weight right away and you're not going to have to think too much about it. And because what you have to do on a daily basis is very simple. And a lot of times when people come to me for coaching specifically, they have a reason to want to lose the weight right away. And so they don't want to mess around too much. They just want to say, all right, take it out of my hands. Let's make sure that we're losing weight right now. Okay, so this is a version of what that plan might look like. Okay, before I give it to you, here's my disclaimer. And I'm going to put something at some point in this video here too in fine print. I don't know you. I haven't met you. I don't know your health history. I don't give medical advice here. Okay, here are some standard plans that you can start with. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how you can adjust your plans in different ways. If it's not working or if you're not happy, here are some things that you can do to make it better. Okay, I'll talk about that in the next video. These are plans that I have used in the past, but I'm not getting into the nutrition side of things here. Please be very, very careful when you start putting your own plan together, and be super careful when you take plans from other people that also do not know you. It can be dangerous. You want to make sure that if you're going to do something, that you're going to be healthy while you're doing it. I don't want you ending up in the hospital. I don't want you ending up getting hurt in some way long term because you've done something you shouldn't be doing. These plans are designed to be pretty universally conservative. Okay, I'm not giving you calorie goals. I'm not telling you to cut anything out of your diet. And I'm also not telling you to force anything into your diet. If you know you're supposed to be watching your sodium, or you know you're supposed to be keeping track of your sugars, run these plans by your medical professional. When you put a plan together, it shouldn't hurt anybody to start eating more fruits and vegetables. Nothing in these plans should be dangerous for you. But make sure that you make these decisions with the input of a medical professional who knows your health history and who can tell you, hey, that's a really big mistake. You're not eating enough. You're not doing the right stuff. You need a vitamin supplement. You need to do something. Okay, so I'm going to walk through a couple of example plans, but I'm not recommending any one plan to you. I'm just showing you a couple of options you have. All right, that's enough. Here we go. All right, so this is, as I said, one of the most standard plans that I end up using quite a bit. The goal here for fruits and vegetables is that I would have at least 5 a day. And that's a mix. It could be 3 fruits and 2 vegetables. It could be all 5 fruits if I want it to be. For the meal replacements, I've got a goal to have 3 shakes and then 2 entrees, and those are both minimums. So I might do 3 shakes. I might do 4 shakes. I might do 2 entrees. I might do 5 entrees if the day accounts for it. Very often I do this plan myself, and when I do, if it's a tough day like a holiday, especially Thanksgiving or Easter, which is a big eating sort of holiday for my family, I'm going to have extra entrees. I'm going to have more shakes. I'm definitely having more fruits and vegetables. So just understand, these are minimums, but you're meant to increase where you need to. So I might have a plan with 5 fruits and vegetables a day, 3 shakes, 2 entrees. My goal would be 2,000 calories of physical activity. As far as my actual goal, I'm going to set a number goal. I'd like to lose 50 pounds. And I'm going to weigh in once a week on Friday. I think it's nice to write that into your plan just for accountability. It's not just I'm going to weigh in once a week. That's my day. For record keeping, I'm going to keep them on paper. That's the most common for my clients. A lot of them just aren't fans of the technology, but also there's an accountability when you write down on paper that seems to be nice. When I have to write it down, I pay more attention, I think about it, it means more. So think about that when you're doing your own records. If you start off doing them in your phone and you find out that you're not really getting the results you want, or you don't really care about your records, it might be nice to try paper for a little while. I'm going to keep track of the food and the physical activity, and I'm going to add up my totals. As I said, that should be part of your plan. I'm going to add up these things that I'm doing here to make sure that I'm reaching these goals. And I'm going to attend a weight loss support group once a week. All right, so for example, this would be one of the groups that I do live here at the clinic. And that's where I'm going to get my support. Remember, there's two parts here. What am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? And how often? Okay, finally, extra rules. This person is not doing anything that is not a meal replacement or fruits and vegetables. They can do as many of those as they want. They can have extra fruits and vegetables and extra shakes, but for now, they're choosing not to do grilled chicken yet. They're not going to worry about the portion size and grocery shopping and all those details. They're going to focus on the meal replacements first. Okay, that's what I mean when I say this is a really structured plan. It's really hard not to lose weight when you're doing something like this because you're not including anything else. Everything is really controlled for you. But you need to make sure that your meal replacements are good meal replacements. Ours are good. Check out our website. You need to make sure that the meal replacements are good meal replacements. And you need to make sure that you are happy that you're following through on this. That you enjoy what you're eating, that you're not hungry, that you're working through what's going on. All right. The other rule that we did put in place is this 15 calorie per tablespoon rule for the sauces and spices. That's the most typical version of the plans that we create. Let's take a look at what a typical day might look like if we had 5 fruits and vegetables, 3 shakes, and 2 entrees. All right, so let's bring that up and let's get this out of here. All right, when I like to do plans, I start by asking, what do I want for breakfast? What do I want for lunch? What do I want for lunch? And what do I want for dinner? And then do I need any snacks in between? All right, so that's all this is representative. For breakfast, I might have a shake. I do a lot of shakes with coffee in them. So if you like coffee, that might be something for you, especially if you did drink coffee before. One thing that you're gonna have to figure out is an alternative for the cream and the sugar. There are good low-calorie options that you can explore, but a quick shortcut is just to put your coffee into a shake. The shakes are already sweet. It's already a vanilla shake, so you can get that creamer. Or if you like chocolate, you can do a chocolate coffee mocha type of deal. So that's a really easy way to not have to worry about the cream and sugar. Just make it as a shake. I do these a lot cold, personally. If you like iced coffee, that's really easy to do. A lot of my clients like warm coffee shakes. So that's easy enough to do. We'll leave it like that for now. We might add some extra to that breakfast in a second. For lunch, there's a very good chance you're going to see an entree. If your goal is to have 2 entrees a day, you're probably going to see 1 for lunch and 1 for dinner on most days. But that is flexible. So maybe this person would have, chicken Alfredo has been one of my favorites recently. And then for dinner, maybe they want maybe beef stew. I've been doing a little bit of beef stew recently. We have one called the chicken fiesta or fiesta chicken, which is rice and tomato sauce and chicken and corn and black beans and just a little bit of Mexican spices. It's not too spicy, but it's enough to kind of push it that way. When I do it, I often add my own hot sauce and my own extra spices to it. But bear in mind that this will count as an entree for us as well. Okay, and then there's a shake down here. And there's a shake that I like. It's called the 70. Okay, if you're looking on our website for shake options, the 70 is my favorite because you can make it as a shake. If you want to do smoothies, if you want to do like chocolate, I do chocolate caramel and chocolate coffee shakes and dessert shakes like that. If you want to do fruits, you can do strawberry, banana shakes. But the 70 can also be made as a pudding. And at the end of the night, I like the pudding because it counts as a shake, but I don't necessarily have to pull the blender out and wash the dishes afterwards. And pudding feels like a late night snack to me. Pudding feels like a dessert. It's indulgent. It's a little bit guilty. I get excited. It feels like maybe I should be keeping it a secret when I have pudding. So that one often shows up in the evening for me. And then a lot of times you'll see a shake in the afternoon. If you're used to between lunch and dinner, there's this mid-afternoon kind of energy drop. A lot of people have crackers and granola bars and junk in their desk that they tend to lean on for that energy drop. A shake is a good thing to fit in there. It keeps your hands busy so you don't get into those other snacks, and it picks that energy up so you can be pretty consistent throughout the day. In this spot in between breakfast and lunch, there may be nothing. Maybe you don't normally stop to have a snack in between breakfast and lunch. You could certainly put an extra shake here, or you could certainly put an extra entree if you wanted to. But you don't have to put anything there. Very commonly, I would say most people do not. And that's okay. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. If you've noticed, though, so far we have no fruits and vegetables. So let's rectify that. Maybe when I have this coffee shake in the morning, I also have a banana. That's really popular in the morning because you can peel and eat it while you walk or while you drive, and you can drink your coffee while you're in commute as well. So maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe when I have a shake later on in the day, I actually put blueberries. And I put those right into the shake. And I blend it all up together, get something smooth. I've also seen where people will make a shake and they'll hide a vegetable in there. They'll put a little bit of spinach in there, something like that. That's one way of sneaking in vegetables into your day. But maybe you put blueberries. I've been doing, through the holidays, pumpkin in my shakes. That counts as a vegetable. And that's a nice shake. Pumpkin, vanilla shake, cinnamon, different spices if you want nutmeg. That's a very... If you like the coffee, like the pumpkin spice coffee, you can get pumpkin and coffee and shake and do it all together. This one, in the evening, I often do, when I make the pudding, I make apple slices or strawberries and I dip them in the pudding. So there's just an example of what you might do in the evening. And as a snack here, if you don't normally have a snack there, you might not have anything at all. I like to keep a snack on hand just in case. So I keep pickles in my fridge. Those are always there. If I want them, I got them. I also like raw fruits and vegetables in this spot. So you might do carrots and like a homemade hummus or a bean dip or a fat-free ranch. You could go for a couple of different options there if you'd like to. I put it in parentheses because it's like maybe. If I want it, I've got that snack there. If I don't want it, I'll save it for later. With the chicken Alfredo, we're going to want some vegetables. Broccoli is a classic with that. I like carrots. I like mushrooms. And I've done corn in the Alfredo, and I don't hate it. That's not a bad one either. I also add some seasoning to this. I like blackening seasoning in mine. It's a spicier kind of catfish seasoning. If you don't like spicy, that might be too much for you, but I do that. I'll do hot sauce in my Alfredo a lot. I tend to go spicy a lot, but you can put anything you want into an Alfredo. I've done tomatoes in there. Broccoli's a classic. I'll put broccoli for the sake of this plan. Finally, we got this Fiesta chicken. I mentioned it already has corn and black beans. Because it's in the evening, I tend to want a bigger meal, and a lot of folks do. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you have a baked potato. If I can spell potato. With maybe fat-free sour cream. Easy enough. Maybe in addition to that, you have green beans. That one is a really good one to do stuffed. So you'll do like a, let me write it back here. So it's Fiesta chicken, like stuffed in a pepper. I also do, hold on, I can speak words. I also do stuffed zucchini boats sometimes. I do stuffed mushroom caps. You can do squashes and fill them in. You don't have to necessarily stuff it. You can just do sort of like a fried rice and mix other vegetables into that entree. Tomatoes are good for that. More corn if you like more corn. Peppers are really traditional Mexican vegetable. I think that fits really well in this. So probably peppers and tomatoes are the two most common you'll see there. But anything could work. Green beans could work. A lot of times when I do that entree, I eat the entree by itself, and then on the side I have like an applesauce, like just maybe something to help cut the spice a little bit. Carrots and like ranch dip. A lot of times I do that when I do it for lunch. But for dinner, doing it in a stuffed pepper, baked potato is probably not even necessary at that point, but you can do it if you want. I wouldn't say no. So I'll leave it there. If we want to add everything up, let's reflect back on the plan. It's 5 fruits and vegetables, 3 shakes, and 2 entrees we're trying to get. So, fruits and vegetables, shakes, entrees. All right, for fruits and vegetables, we have 1 banana, 1, 2, 3 there. If we use them all, I'm going to say we're not going to use them just in case they're there. So 1 banana, 1 broccoli, that's 2. Blueberries, that's 3. Stuffed pepper, that's 4. Baked potato, that's 5. Apple, that's 6. So we got 6 here, which is great. We were just trying to get 5. We met our goal. For shakes, we have 1 with coffee, 1 with blueberries, and 1 that we turned into a pudding to dip our apple in. I will also say this freezes nicely, so I'll make chocolate pudding, pour it over banana, and I'll do frozen chocolate covered bananas. That's pretty fun too. We got 3, which is great. Our goal was to get at least 3. Worst case scenario, we got at least 3. We are happy. Finally, we have our entrees, and we have 1, 2. Sometimes I'll do 2 entrees for dinner. Sometimes I'll do 2 entrees for lunch. Sometimes I'll eat lunch, and then a little bit later, I want another entree. Well, that's all okay. This person had 2, though. Their goal was to get at least 2. Okay, so there you go. You have an example of a full day. This is a really traditional breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. This is a very typical day. This is probably one of the most common routines that I ever get to work with. There isn't anything here written in stone. On purpose, for the next plan we do, we'll do something a little bit weird. But I just want you to know, you can skip breakfast if you want to. You can do 2 desserts late at night. Sometimes I do 3 desserts late at night, right? Nothing is stopping you from doing those things. And some days you're going to do bigger lunches, and some days you're going to do lots of snacks in the morning, and some days you're going to have more of a sweet tooth. It's flexible. The reason why you have the minimum in place is just so you know what your plan is. By the end of the day, you're trying to check off these points, but it's flexible. Keep it flexible, please. All right, that's a kind of typical plan. Throughout this day, they're going to be writing down what they're eating. They're going to do exactly what I did at the end of the day, add up these totals, make sure they're on track with what they want. Once a week, they're going to attend a group, and they can ask questions. They can say, you know what? I'm kind of getting bored of this Alfredo. I don't want broccoli every time. What else can I do? They say, I really don't know about this Fiesta chicken and the stuffed pepper. I'm not digging on that stuffed pepper. What other options do I have? What can I do for shakes? And all of that stuff's going to come out in this group. And it's also going to keep them accountable because they know they're going to that group every week. They want to make sure that they stay on track. They're weighing in on a regular basis to make sure that they're on track and that they're making progress towards their goal. If they are not on track, or if they're not sure if they're on track, they can ask while they're at this group. And if they need to, they can make adjustments. And we'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, I guess the last thing we should look at is the sauces and spices rule. They only use, they use fat-free sour cream, which is on our list that I showed you. And they use blackening seasoning, which is fine. That's a seasoning. I don't think it has any calories at all, but if it does, it's within our routine. It's within our plan. All right, cool. I'm gonna do 2 more plans for you, and then we're gonna wrap this video up, guys, because you know almost everything you need to know. It's just about getting in action. And actually, maybe the next video is going to be super interesting for you. It's making those adjustments along the way where it really gets tricky. All right, what do we have? Let's start with the plan. Okay, and we'll put something different in here. Let's say I'm going to start out trying to have 2 fruits and vegetables. That's a really conservative version of the plan. I strongly recommend against it. You should be having at least 5 fruits and vegetables a day. Most people need more than that. But if you want to start smaller, okay, let's start smaller. Let's see what the rest of the day looks like. Let's say I don't care about these shakes, but I do want the entrees. I'll do 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner. I think that'll be good. But maybe I don't snack so much in between. For physical activity, we'll leave that goal unchanged. For the weight loss goal, maybe I don't have that much to lose. If I only have to lose 20 pounds, then I might pick a more conservative goal. I'm pretty close to where I need to be. I'm just looking to add a little bit of a boost to my current routine. Right? Maybe this person is going to be doing records in their phone. And maybe instead of attending a support group, they're going to attend a live stream. I don't know a lot of people who are doing this. It's the reason why I started doing mine. But yeah, if you're looking for a live stream, check out our website. Our schedule is there. And maybe they're going to keep these rules. Well, they're not going to keep this rule. No other grocery store foods. If they're only having 2 fruits and vegetables, they're only doing 2 entrees, they're going to need some other food to round out the rest of their day. Okay, so let's take a look at what this looks like. By the way, again, this is not a plan that I recommend. It is just to illustrate how you can put the plans together. All right. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. All right, they're still going to use entrees, so let's leave the entrees here. Let's give them different entrees, okay? Maybe they have chili for lunch. And maybe for dinner, they like beef stroganoff. I've been doing that one quite a bit. Okay. They're not doing the shakes. And they have to have at least 2 servings of fruits and vegetables. Okay. So if we take the plan just at surface level, if we do this, a banana for breakfast, an entree for lunch, blueberries for snack in between, entree for dinner, they have technically met all of their goals. Okay, they have fulfilled the plan as they've written it. Hopefully, if you give this even a little bit of thought, you can see that this is a weak plan to do every day. I can't imagine this is going to be successful long term. When you write a plan, you should ask a couple of questions. The first is, did I meet my goals? These numbers that I set. Okay. If yes, great. If no, keep working on the plan. Make sure that you set your goals. You're not taking any cheat meals, days off. You're not making any rules that say, well, it was a special reason why today the weather was bad and I couldn't follow my plan. Make your plan. Make sure you're hitting all your rules. The second thing that you want to know is there anything about this day that is likely to pull you into a temptation or to encourage you to eat something high in calories? Okay, that's 7, 8, 9, and 10 section of the chart. Am I going to come face to face with anything today? So if this person has family at home, they're going to be eating dinner together. This person, if this plan is just the way that it is right now, is thinking, I'm going to eat an entree, which is portion sized, and it's probably a smaller portion than you're used to cooking for yourself. And I'm going to eat dinner with the rest of my family, who is probably going to be eating quote-unquote normal stuff. They're going to have their own prepared dinner. They might be getting a fast food that night. Who knows what they're doing. But I'm just going to eat this, and I'm going to watch them eat cheesesteaks. I'm going to watch them make spaghetti and meatballs. And that's going to be enough for me. I got to smell what they're smelling. I got to see them eat it. I'm going to finish that a lot faster than they're going to finish their meal. So I'm going to eat that and then just sit and watch them eat. I don't know. They're probably going to have garlic bread if they're making spaghetti and meatballs. That's not going to be easy. They might go back for seconds and thirds. They might ask you. They might say, hey, you didn't eat much. You sure you don't want some of this spaghetti? We got lots extra. Plenty to go around. That creates more temptation for you. We're going to think that that's enough? I don't know. Especially after a long day and this is all the rest you ate. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be in a tricky spot. So not only do you have to face dinner, but then after dinner, you're not going to want a dessert. You're not going to eat anything else for the rest of the night. Sounds like a bad plan to me. For most people. I can't imagine anybody doing this. In fact, I can tell you that the calorie count on this is like 600 calories. You will not live if you do this. You will be starving. You'll be miserable. You won't follow this plan. So you're going to need more, okay? You want to think about where's there going to be a temptation? Where are there going to be high calorie foods? You also want to think about any place where you might get hungry, any place where you might get bored, any place that you might experience something that you've struggled with in the past. And that takes a little bit of knowledge about yourself. If you know you're a social eater, then you have to pay attention. If there's times where you're with other people, you want to put some extra stuff in there. If you know that you're a depressed eater, then you have to pay attention. If there's going to be a time where you're going to get bad news, you should probably plan on eating some extra stuff there. That's the hardest part of making these plans, by the way. And this actually, the meal planning, well, I guess it's over here. The meal planning is what we do on the live stream more than anything else. I do question and answer and give you guys a chance to interact, but most of what we do on the live stream is just put a plan up on the board and try and work it out together based on what challenges we're facing. So if that's interesting to you, check out the live stream for sure. But this is not a good plan. It's a bad plan. All right, let's assume they eat with other people. They're all eating. You're going to need more. You're going to need more. They've got garlic bread. You might want to have some kind of low-calorie bread that you have for yourself. You might toast it. You might have a spray butter and garlic, some kind of spread that you like to put on yours that looks and feels like garlic bread. I like English muffins for that purpose. There's some good options in that. And I like bagels. I do a little bit of the thin, like really thinly sliced bagels. So maybe there's something like that. There's some kind of like low-cal toast. And if you're like Spencer, I don't know what kind of English muffin options there are out there. Why aren't you on my website yet? You've been watching this video. I pointed to it 30 times. More than 30 times, I'm sure by now. If you don't know what options there are for low-cal toast, you should be coming to our live stream. This is why we have that support section of the video, of the meal plans that we're making. You need a website. You need a place to go where you can get these answers. So maybe they got low-cal toast. Really, I like English muffins. I'd be more likely to put that in there. If everybody else is having garlic bread, maybe if you know they're having spaghetti and meatballs, maybe you should do like some kind of spaghetti entree. We have a lasagna, which I really like. So maybe it makes more sense to change the plan in that way. Definitely, I think you should have some kind of vegetable. So a salad would be good. They're probably going to have salad with their spaghetti anyways. They're probably not touching the salad though. That's the one good thing, is that when you go to a restaurant, usually nobody cares about the healthy stuff. So you get all the salad. When you go to a party, you get all the veggie tray. Nobody else is messing with that. So that's always a good thing. That dinner looks so much happier to me than when it was naked. Okay, I'll actually give you another option here. You could do rice cakes. I forgot I do rice cakes here too. And rice cakes are even better in terms of calories. And rice cakes, you can really kind of nibble on for quite some time. So if you do finish your meal early and everybody else is still talking, you can kind of fool around and, rip it off and nibble on it and do that sort of thing. I also think if you're going into that event, you might want to eat a more substantial lunch and a bigger snack. You don't want to be hungry and then get home and have to make good choices. Your willpower is at an all-time low at that point. So I would say maybe start the day a little bit stronger. Maybe put some oatmeal in here. Maybe with this entree, some kind of vegetable. Baked potato is good with chili. Salad is good with chili. More tomatoes, more beans. Pump that up a little bit. And maybe improve this snack too. You could have some kind of nutrition bar there. We have some bars that we carry on our website, and I also have some different bars that I recommend to folks. But you might want to like bulk up the earlier part of the day, knowing that you're going into the rest of the day. Okay? And then finally, at the end of the day, I don't know if they're going to have dessert, but if we're assuming he's eating with family. My wife has popcorn in the evening. She'll have ice cream. Everybody's got some kind of desserts down here. Candy bars. We got leftover cookies still from Christmas, and we're halfway through January already. So something's going to get eaten. I might recommend something sweet down here. We talked about sugar-free gelatin when we were putting the plan together. That could be a good option here. There are fat-free ice creams that we talk about sometimes. A shake. Really, truly, because that's something in the evening that is sweet, that you can sip on. I keep them around just all the time, and if I want to make it, I can make it, but if not, the shelf life is good. They'll stay for a little while. I don't have to have freezer space for my ice cream or space in the fridge for my gelatin, because I always have to fight for that in my household, and I give everybody else their space, let them take the space in the fridge first. I want my fruits and vegetables in the fridge, and I'd rather make sure I have my fruits and vegetables than worry about trying to keep Jell-O or ice cream in the freezer. The shakes I like because I can keep them at room temperature. So I'll leave that. Maybe something here, but if this person's instinct was to leave that empty, I don't have an issue with leaving it empty. I just like to have, like, just in case. Maybe I keep some applesauce in the fridge, right? What I've been doing is I have an emergency can of pineapple. My emergency can of pineapple, I travel with it. It goes in the car with me, keep it here at work. I take it if I go over to somebody else's house. And if I have to, it's got a pop top and I can eat it right out of the can. It doesn't have to stay cold. I don't have to heat it up. It's ready to go. So it's a good emergency thing for me. Okay, so that's a much better looking plan. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is going to get somebody through a tough day, and they're going to be happier, and they're not going to be as hungry, and they're not going to be yelling at their family because they're eating good stuff and they're not allowed to. Okay, now at the end of the day, we can add up all our totals. We've got 1 banana, 1 potato, that's 2, blueberries, that's 3, salad, that's 4. All right, that's okay because their plan was to get 2. Okay, so they met their plan. That's the most important thing. I don't care if cheeseburger showed up in here somewhere. They met their plan. It's the most important thing. If, for some reason, they're not seeing the progress that they want to, in the next video, we'll talk about how to adjust it. But I'll tell you, just as an example, if we left this plan the way it looked originally, I would bet that they wouldn't be losing weight like they wanted to, because they'd probably be cheating and nibbling and doing other things that would have a side effect. Not only that, but I would bet that they weren't healthy, that they wouldn't nutritionally be getting everything that they need. Okay, so in this case, they met the plan by all instructions. If they weren't getting the results they wanted, we'll talk about what to do about that in the next video. But the short of it is they're going to have to change their plan. For shakes, they got 1. They didn't have to do any. They didn't put them in their plan. And for entrees, they did 2. Okay, so numbers-wise, they met their goals. Everything else that's in here, though, isn't going to show up down here. That's okay. We're not making plans. I'm not going to force somebody to eat rice cakes every day. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to make a plan to eat a piece of toast every day. That's flexible. It makes sense on this day, but it's not going to make sense every day. You could make a plan to eat oatmeal, but you don't have to eat oatmeal every day. There's lots of options. You could move this toast to the morning and do that instead. Okay? So just understand, you don't have to there are lots of options for what you do if you're not doing these three things, right? Just understand that these take up a large amount of the day that you don't have to think about. This guy knows his main course is going to be this entree, so he doesn't have to think about a main course. He just has to think about what he's going to do about the garlic bread, what he's going to do about the volume. Is he going to have a big enough meal in order to be happy? But he's got a main course taken care of. The only thing you might have to think about is the spice on it. That's what these numbers are supposed to do. Just give you less to think about. He's got his fruits and vegetables. He got his banana. He got his blueberries. He didn't have to worry about those. He didn't have to worry about this baked potato being a bad choice. Okay? So what that allows him to do is focus on everything else. Is my oatmeal a good choice? Is my bar a good choice? Is my fat-free ice cream a good choice? And you should take your time to think about those things. Okay? The last thing I want to point out about this plan is, and we'll mention it a little bit more in the next video, each and every one of these things that was not a part of this plan, these numbers, is a chance to make a mistake. This oatmeal could easily have been a breakfast sandwich. This baked potato could have been chips, could have been French fries, could have been a different side dish. This bar could have been cookies in his desk, or a Hershey Kiss off of his co-worker's desk, or anything else at work that he could have snacked on. This toast could have been a piece of garlic bread, just like the rest of his family. This salad could have been a second piece of garlic bread, just like the rest of his family. These snacks down here could have been full-fat ice cream. Could have been a piece of leftover cake if it was somebody's birthday recently. That's, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The shake was not a part of his plan originally. There are 8 things here that were not a part of his plan that he ended up eating that day. Each one of those 8 things could be something that makes you gain weight. So be aware, the things that are taken care of are the things that are taken care of. The other things that you do are going to play a role. When we talk about the plan making, I'll spoil it for you. When you get to the next video and we talk about plan making, adjusting the plan if things aren't working, the major thing that you're going to have to look at is increasing these numbers. That's 8 choices that weren't accounted for here that they ended up eating that day. And there isn't anything wrong with that so long as they're good choices. But if you don't feel comfortable making sure they're good choices, and if you're gaining weight or you're not losing weight, it means that they're not good choices. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, then these numbers are going to have to go up. So by adding in more fruits and vegetables here, we gave him a better plan. Okay, we gave him some easy choices. By adding in this shake, we gave him an easy choice in the evening so that he wouldn't risk, she wouldn't risk, whoever this person is wouldn't risk going into some other dessert that might get them in more trouble, or a bag of chips that would be easy and would get them in trouble. Please be very, very aware of that. We'll talk about that more in the next plan, but if the plan is too soft, you'll have a couple of things that you don't have to worry about because they're taken care of, but the rest of the stuff you do, you have to also make sure you do in a positive way. Very, very tricky. We'll talk about that in the next video. All right, I'll do one more example plan for you guys, and then we will wrap up this video. Here we go. Yeah, let's wrap up the video. Okay. I have an example plan here I was about to show you from one of the streams I did this week, but I think let's do one from scratch so we can really see what this looks like. Okay, let's say I wanted 1 shake and 1 entree and let's do 8 fruits and vegetables. Some people need more. All right, let's hop to it. All right, we haven't talked about physical activity in any of these plans. Let's do physical activity in this one just so we have an example on the record. All right, This person wants to lose 200 pounds. And they're keeping records, and they have some kind of support. Let's say they go to a specific, let's say they go on YouTube. All right, they check out the YouTube channel weekly, see if they posted any new recipes. That's where they get most of their support. Okay, now this is a softer plan. All right, it's a softer plan because they don't have direct accountability. They don't have a coach that's actually going to look at their records and make sure that what they're doing is on track. They're also not getting weight loss specific advice maybe from this YouTube channel. Maybe they're just getting recipes, which means they're going to have to filter through and adjust the recipes and make sure that they're all good. They might go to a YouTube channel for physical fitness. There might be some exercise tips and advice there. Or they might go to my YouTube channel, where there is maybe better, more useful stuff. Okay, but this is a little bit softer. Going to a YouTube channel, you don't get interaction. It's one way. It's always better if you can be on a forum or talk to somebody live where you can trade. Okay, but you can also have multiple sources. So maybe they do YouTube channel and then they also have a family member that they work with. Okay, it's also a softer plan because there's a couple of shakes. Or there's only one shake and one entree, so there's going to be a couple choices they have to make. And I think that's important to mention because they have 200 pounds to lose. If you have 200 pounds to lose, you want a tighter plan, not a looser plan. The instinct, usually, if you have a lot of weight to lose, and I think anything over 30 pounds is a lot of weight to lose. If you're serious about, I need to lose this weight, I want it gone as fast as possible, I have, a specific goal, I need to knock it out. You want a tighter plan. The instinct is to make a softer plan. To say, well, let me try this, and if it doesn't work, then I'll work a little bit harder, or I'll add a little bit more rules. And that's your instinct because it's easier. Let me do something that's easier. Let me do something that costs less money. Let me do something that doesn't take too much time out of my day. Let me start just trying to lose 5 pounds. Let me start just eating 1 vegetable a day, and then we'll build our way up. Especially with physical activity, I see that a lot. Let me just do, 5-minute walk every day, and then we'll build our way up. And in my mind, when I see that, you have to know 5 minutes is probably not going to do what you need. You got to push to the point where you're going to see some actual results. So I'm not saying this will not result in results, especially if somebody does have 200 pounds to lose. This probably will get them onto a track. But just be aware when you're putting your own plan together that you don't want to start too light. You don't want to do what you're already doing. You need to be doing at least, at the bare minimum, you need to be doing a little bit more than you're currently doing. So if you normally eat a couple of fruits and vegetables every day anyways, you got to make your goals a little bit higher than that. If you're thinking of doing a plan with no meal replacements, for example, and be careful about that. Just know it's an important resource that can help you out. All right, that's all I'll say. I won't lecture you any further. We'll talk about this in the next video. But if you start off strong and you're doing really well and it's a challenge, you can always soften it up. If you start off and you're not losing anything, or maybe even you gain weight, you're going to say, Spencer's an idiot. His video doesn't work at all. I'm not going to do anything he has to say. And then you quit and you never see the things that you want to see. Better to start stronger, see some results, maybe have to make some adjustments and figure out how to work it, than to start too weak and not see any results at all. All right, 8 fruits and vegetables, 1 shake, 1 entree, and we need 2,000 calories weekly of physical activity. For this person, we're going to say that's 30 minutes a day. I haven't given an exact weight, but let's say 30 minutes a day they're trying to do of some kind of physical activity. So, where's our plan? Here we go. Almost always, if somebody says 1 entree, what they mean is, I'll do an entree for lunch, because that's easy. I'll take it to work. I don't have to worry about lunch. And then they'll cook their own dinner. Right? When somebody says 1 shake, that's a little bit harder to predict. I would say 1 shake normally ends up in the middle of the day. So I'll tell you actually what I like to do is I make a shake and I keep it at my desk and I drink it throughout the day. So I'm going to write that like this, and we'll say they'll have half a shake in the morning, half a shake in the afternoon. Okay. With 8 fruits and vegetables, there's got to be a fruit in this shake. So let's do Strawberry. Oh, I thought it would autocorrect. Just do it. Strawberry and banana. Okay, and the idea here is they're going to make a shake with strawberry banana in it, and then they're going to drink it throughout the day. And I'm writing it this way. So there's 2 of their fruits and vegetables right there. For their entree, what's an entree we haven't talked about yet? We could do the mac and cheese. All right, let's do mac and cheese, and I'll tell you why. I got a cool idea. All right, mac and cheese entrees are hard to come by. There are a lot that are too high in calories, that are unhealthy, that don't fit into what we're trying to do. And there are a lot that do fit into what we're trying to do, but taste like feet. So it's hard to find the middle ground. You don't want it to taste like feet, unless you do, but probably you don't want it to taste like feet. And also you don't want it to mess up your weight loss. So finding a prepared mac and cheese can be really tricky and really a lot of fun. Again, we have one on our website. That's the one that I've been using because it is the safest, and it's the balance between safe and good tasting. It tastes pretty good, and it's very safe, and I like to add more spices and do stuff with it to push it over the top. It's pretty good, but it's really good when you figure out how to make it the way you like it. I'm not making any excuses. You try it for yourself. You might like it just the way it is. You might want to explore it a little bit. Most meal replacements, like most fruits and vegetables, need to be explored. They need the right spices and the right fruits and vegetables. And I'll say that specifically about good meal replacements. And of course, I think ours are good, but I have another list of other ones that are okay. Good meal replacements are often designed for weight loss. It's very rare that you find a frozen dinner that's a name brand that happens to be good. Because when they make it, they don't care. They make it so that it tastes good. They don't care if it's healthy for you. If it is healthy for you, it's usually because the person who made it designed it to be healthy. And that's the reason why they often don't taste very good. Because they had that goal as the number one. The meal replacements that we use, the company that I like, found a good balance between making sure that it was healthy for you and making sure that you would want to eat it on a regular basis. And one of the ways that they did that is they made them fairly neutral. I don't want to say bland. They're all pretty good. They all got a nice flavor to them. But they're made so that they're not too spicy or too salty, so that they wouldn't offend anybody. If you're trying it for the first time, you shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, this is terrible, or this is giving me heartburn. This is ruining my life. This stole my wife and ran off with my kids. It shouldn't feel that way. It should feel like, okay, this is pretty good. It tastes healthy. I can feel it. Maybe it's a little bit soft on the spice. And then that allows you to add more salt and pepper at the very least, and at the maximum, to really have fun with it, to really explore. So the reason why I wanted to put the mac and cheese here, let me cut this too. The reason why I wanted to put the mac and cheese here is because when you're incorporating other foods in addition to meal replacements, you have access to other proteins. And specifically on the list that we give, the calorie guide, there's seafood. And I really like to add shrimp to my mac and cheese. Or you could do lobster if you're a little fancier even. I'm a big fan of that. And you have the freedom to do that if you're allowing that within your plan. The first person had made a decision that they weren't doing any other grocery store food. This person did not make that decision. So they're allowed to put shrimp into theirs. Now, keep in mind, the first person doesn't have to worry about it. They're not messing with shrimp. They know it's not going to mess them up. This person is maybe going to have to think about how those shrimp are cooked and where they're getting them from, how often they eat them. If they maybe don't lose much weight, they're going to have to guess, oh, was there extra salt on that shrimp? Am I holding extra fluid this week? Or was it really something that I did that messed me up? There's going to be some questions that come because they did shrimp. The trade-off is that they get to eat shrimp. And usually shrimp is a good choice. So you have to decide for yourself if it's worth that trade-off. But again, I'd emphasize, if you just had a heart attack and your doctor says, you're not going to live to see your grandkids if you don't get this weight off, it's not worth adding shrimp into your routine for the chance that it might mess you up, right? Just be aware. If you have a deadline, if your wedding is 4 months from now and you're trying to get ready for it, it may not be worth that risk. Okay, you're going to have to be careful with each new food you add in, and you're going to have to really pay attention to it. And if it is causing some kind of adverse effect, then you're going to have to adjust. Please, please, please get the help that you need in order to make that happen. All right, now that said, I like to make the mac and cheese and put shrimp in it. All right, let's double check what the rules were again. 8 fruits and vegetables, 1 shake, 1 entree. Okay, so far we've got 1 shake, 1 entree. We've got the fruits and vegetables. Now this is super typical. If you're only going to use a couple of meal replacements, centering them around the middle of your day is really nice because you're not at home. When you're at home, you have control. You know what you need to do. You know what you've got. If you need to keep the cookies out of your house, you have a little bit more freedom to do that. In the middle of the day, you're at work, you're running errands, you're in other environments, you're more likely to go out to eat. It gets a lot more tricky. So if you're only going to use a couple of meal replacements, I definitely recommend throwing them here. I also am really fond of putting them here late at night where the temptations are high and no one's looking at you, and if you do something bad, who's going to find out? That kind of time is a good time for meal replacements as well. It's also nice in the evening because you don't want to cook, you don't want to open stuff up and prepare things, so to have something that's already made is really nice. But let's say that he's met his shake and entree goals, 1 and 1. Again, he can have more, but if he wanted to stick just to those, he has to fill out the rest of the day. He's got 2 fruits and vegetables. We're going to make this one a she for the rest of this plan. She's got 2 fruits and vegetables. I always write the plans like it's me, so I always say he because I've got this mac and cheese for lunch I'm going to have. She needs to have 6 more fruits and vegetables before this plan is out. Now, my instinct would be to put some big vegetables in the evening. The easiest way to do that might be a salad. Okay, but this is different from the salad we did in the last plan, and I just want to roll back to this. This person had lasagna, had rice cakes. It was a side salad, sort of as like a second, afterthought. This person is having a centerpiece salad. Okay, that means that it's bigger and that it's got to be more flavorful. So we're probably going to put some onion in here. We're probably going to put some tomato in there. We're probably going to put, actually, I guess it depends on what kind of salad it is. Let me roll it back because I just got a really good idea. All right, so it's a salad, but it's a spinach salad. By the way, if you don't like spinach, make it lettuce. We're going to put some oranges. And I like to use canned oranges for this. You could use fresh if you like, but canned I can keep on hand all the time. And if I decide I want this salad for dinner, I can make it. So we got spinach, oranges. Onion can go in here too. Okay, and then chicken. Spinach, oranges, onion, chicken, some kind of dressing. So something with soy sauce, or like teriyaki on the chicken. I just found a new sugar-free teriyaki this week, actually. So maybe that's something that you guys would be into. There's a sesame ginger salad dressing that I like to recommend a lot. It's 0 calories. You can use as much as you want. If you like it, it's so good. That would go really well with this recipe. So we're going to say teriyaki. Can I spell it? Teriyaki. Come on. I thought there was an I. Alright, teriyaki on the chicken. And remember, we got to go, this is not, standard teriyaki. We're going to go sugar-free, low-calorie teriyaki. And we're going to go sesame ginger. Okay, that's a dressing you can find a recipe for if you want to make your own version, but it's also one that you can find commercially available. Sesame ginger dressing. I'll even type the brand. Nah, just because this is going to be going out there, I don't want to name any brands if I can avoid it. Sesame ginger dressing. But check out our website. There'll be a link to it in there. It's one of my favorite salad dressings. Spinach, oranges, onion, chicken, right? So I hope that you guys can see this is a substantial salad, right? There's a whole fruit there. There's, I would say, you're not going to have a whole cup of onion in a salad, so maybe we can get another vegetable in here. Maybe we could get like pea pods or water chestnuts, broccoli maybe, might be good in there. But because we have spinach, I don't like broccoli in there. I like water chestnuts, or maybe baby corns for the crunch. So let's just write stir fry. Stir fried veg. Okay, there's a lot of different options for what that might be. But pea pods, bamboo shoots, water chestnuts. So now we have 1, 2, 3 and a half. Even a half a cup of onion is a lot, but a half a cup of green onion or shallots or something like that is not necessarily a lot for one meal. But this is a big salad. Big spinach, oranges, half an onion, stir-fried vegetables, another cup. All right, that's pretty good. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. We need 2.5 more. Should be easy enough. In the evening, we're going to want a dessert. That is a mug cake. You can find these recipes online. There's a specific one that I like to recommend, and that recipe is on our website. But it's a cake that you can make in the microwave. It's a little one. Then you can put strawberries on that. And fat-free whipped cream. And then we need 1.5 fruits and vegetables. And the way to do that is with a breakfast hash. So you need potatoes, diced potatoes, more onion, maybe the other half of this onion from earlier. Peppers, probably half peppers. A whole cup of peppers is a lot, right? You could hit some mushroom in here. And if you'd like, this person certainly is allowed to do egg. And we'll do egg whites to get on the safe side. She's got a nice little routine here. Right? I would be happy with this. Now the real question is, can I count this up accurately? Because that does get a little tricky when you start doing halves like this. So we have 1, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, goal was to get 8. We got 9. And I'd really like to highlight this to you. If you're not going to be doing as many meal replacements, you should be doing more fruits and vegetables and other foods that fall into that 1, 2, and 3 category range. Shrimp is our example in this one. Okay, if you're not going to be doing meal replacements, you're going to have to find other foods that have that low calorie quality. So that's okay. The mug cake is middle range for the recipe that I have on the website. It's not 0 calories. It is cake, but it's a much safer, healthier way of doing cake. So I have no problem with this recipe, but that ain't it. That's not what's going to enact the weight loss. So just be aware of that. If you're not doing as many shakes and entrees and you want to lose weight, you should be doing more fruits and vegetables. And I just realized I'm blocking this a little bit. Okay, also egg whites. Very doable though. For our meal replacement, we've got 1 shake, which we're drinking throughout the day, which is great. If you're going to do that, I like to take a sip of mine and leave it in the fridge and then go back to it periodically throughout the day. And I also like to keep it in a cup like this. No branding. A cup like this where I can keep it closed and I can shake it up each time I go back to have another sip. Because sometimes meal replacement shakes will separate or something like that. The texture will get weird. But that's good. We've met all of our numbers then. All right. I hope that regardless of the 3 plans that you're looking at, they all look decent, they all make sense, and you look at them and you say, yeah, I would do that. Right? It should feel that way by the time you write it. You should look at that and say, I'm not going to be hungry. I'm not going to be tempted. It looks good. I'd be excited for that week. You probably have the question, where can I get that recipe? What do you mean sesame ginger dressing? I got to find that. But beyond that, you should be looking at this and going, yeah, that looks good. Lunch isn't even finished, by the way. I forgot. There's got to be some vegetable here with this. Maybe just a piece of fruit afterwards. If you're at lunch or something, if you're at work, something in between there. I don't know if the mac and cheese and shrimp by itself is going to feel like a complete meal. Now that I'm looking at that, that's probably not complete. So we actually got 10 fruits and vegetables, I would say. Okay, and this could be something else. I won't spoil that here, but come to our live streams, check out some of the other meal plans we do. There's lots of options for what this might be. It doesn't have to be a fruit or vegetable. And we're just really scratching the surface here. But hopefully, like, this sounds and looks like a good plan to you. I get to have potato, pepper, and onion, and eggs. Could be scrambled eggs. I made them egg whites in this plan, but you can do scrambled eggs if you want. Or you could make it as an omelet. I do a shake, and I have strawberry and banana. That's what's going to get me through the day, so I'm not snacking on bad things. I have mac and cheese with shrimp in it, and I have another little snack if I want to, apple slices or carrot sticks or something like that if I want to. For dinner, it's a salad, which is traditional dieting, but this is not your grandma's salad. This is teriyaki chicken. This is a sesame ginger dressing, spinach, oranges, onion, stir-fried vegetables. We haven't talked about portion size, and maybe you've noticed that. We are going to talk about portion size in the next video. So come back. I hope that video is shorter than this one is, but come back for that next video if you have questions about portion size and how we adjust these plans over time. But this looks like a really good day, and at the end of the day, top it all off, we get a cake with strawberries and whipped cream, and I'm going to bed happy. Hopefully you would go to bed happy as well. I want you to know that this is the real deal. What you're experiencing in this video is exactly what you would get if we sat down one-on-one and I walked through the plan with you and we put it together. The only difference would be that I would ask you directly what you need from your food. Are you a big eater, volume eater? Are you a snacker? You like big meals? Do you normally eat late at night? Are you a stress eater, an emotional eater, a social eater, a lonely eater? Are you a depressed eater? Are you someone who eats on the run a lot? Someone who eats at restaurants a lot? Someone who cooks for other people? Someone who other people cook for? I would have these kinds of questions for you. We wouldn't run through all of them if I was coaching you one-on-one, but I would ask in general, what is it that you need from your food? Especially when we get to this stage and we're actually thinking about what you're going to eat every day. That would be the place where we'd really want to ask those questions. Remember, at the end of making a day plan like this, you want to think about if there's anything that would pull you off track. Any place where you would be hungry, any place where you would see a lot of temptations, any place where you might get into trouble. And if so, make the plan stronger, make the plan better. But that would be the main thing, especially in the plan making session here. The one thing that I try to do is get a feel for how bad you want to lose the weight. How much, how fast, where do you need to be? So I might have some of those questions if we were working one-on-one. But everything else that I did is what I've done for every one of my clients for the last, since 2010. So this is it. You're getting the best of it here. I promise you, this is what you need to know in order to get moving. So let me just recap. We're going to come all the way back up to the top here, guys. I don't care what you're doing, what kind of formal plan, if you're going to take a low carb approach, if you're going to do an intermittent fasting. There are 6 rules. And whether you believe me or not, you have to follow them or you're not going to be successful long term. If you are in any way a normal person, the data from the past 50 years is really clear on this. We've been studying weight loss for a long time. There are things you have to do. So if you choose not to outline your plan exactly the way we put it together in this video, that's cool. But I promise you, doing something simple like this will get you where you need to be. You just need to focus on these simple things, doing them in the right way, and getting the right support. Asking questions, not quitting, not giving up when you face a difficult day, not giving yourself cheat meals and days off. Okay? In those last couple of plans especially, I hope you noticed, we could have easily put cheeseburger into one of those plans if we want to. There's nothing that says we couldn't do it. Right? That is not a cheat meal. That is not a day off. A day off would be not meeting these goals. You can't eat a cheeseburger and skip your fruits and vegetables. That you're not allowed to do. Okay? If you focus on doing these things, you'll get where you need to be. If you have questions about these things, watch the next video in the series, please. I intend for it to be shorter, but I don't know once we actually get started how the editing is going to go. But please, watch that video. I'll show you how you can edit it if you're not getting the results that you want. And most of the questions that you want answered will be answered in that video. If they don't get answered, check out our website, see if it's somewhere else on the webpage. If you can't find it, go to our YouTube channel, see if I posted it there. If it ain't there, come to our live stream and chat to me directly. Go to the website, contact us. If you are local, if you're anywhere close to where we are, consider joining a formal group, coming in on a regular basis, talking with other people who are going through the same process, having the same questions. But this is the full plan. This is well and truly everything that we've done for the last 10 years, everything we're going to continue to do for every person I coach for the rest of my life. There will not be something substantial in the weight loss world that uproots this plan. There may be something that adds to it, but there won't be anything that counters it. This is the real deal, guys. So let's recap. You need to eat fruits and vegetables. Set a number you're going to eat every day. You're probably going to want some meal replacements. Okay? You're free to attempt a plan without those, but the data is pretty clear on that. Meal replacement programs tend to result in twice as fast weight loss and a higher total weight loss. Twice the average weight loss. Depends on what study you look at. But people do better when they have some of their decisions made for them. It's just easier, it's just faster, and it's harder to make mistakes. Consider some meal replacements. And again, I'm not selling you anything. If you don't buy my meal replacements, that's okay. I'll leave links on our website to other meal replacements if you want to try them, and you're free to go to your own grocery store and explore on your own. Okay, but make sure they're good meal replacements. Make sure you know what you're getting into. But yeah, meal replacements work. Shakes work. Entrees work if you're using them correctly. Okay, with both of those rules, the fruits and vegetables and the meal replacements, remember that your goal is to use them to replace other foods. If you're drinking a shake and you're still eating your cheeseburger, you're making a mistake somewhere. If you're eating more vegetables and you're still finding room for that pizza, there's a challenge that we're facing. The goal is to figure out how to use the fruits and vegetables in a happy way to not need those other foods and to find healthier versions of those foods. You can still eat that cheeseburger and drink that shake, but the burger might be a turkey burger and the shake might be a meal replacement. And if they taste good, I'm not going to fight it. That's the diet side of things. Again, we'll talk about some different options in the next video. Then you have the physical activity. There's a certain amount of calories you need to burn weekly. That is not a daily goal. That's what we're going to do every week. And again, that's a number that you can pick. You can make it higher, you can make it lower. Bear in mind, if you go too low, you're not going to see the results you want. Push it up high, stretch yourself a little bit, work on it. But the most important thing about physical activity is that it is not exercise. It's moving. It doesn't matter what you're doing that gets you moving. It doesn't matter which body part you're moving. It doesn't matter how fast you're moving. It doesn't matter how long you move it for. Just move. All of those are variables you can play with. Figure out what you want to do. That's the diet side. On the other side of things, we need to make sure that we're staying on track. So we need a goal, and we need to check it on a regular basis. We need to keep records, and we need to do something with those records. Okay, how are we going to use those records? Okay, my recommendation is, at the bare minimum, you add up your goals. When you're keeping records, you should keep track of this might be confusing terminology. You should keep track of these other rules you have. So if your goal is to get more fruits and vegetables, you should be keeping track of that. Okay? What are you going to do with it? You're going to make sure that you're staying on track. If you're not on track with your weight loss, then you're going to take your records and find something new to play around with to get you on track. We'll talk about that in the next video. Finally, you need support. Who are you going to talk to? How often are you going to talk to them? Where are you going to go to get your resources, your questions answered, your recipes? Where do you go if you have a challenge? Where do you go if you fall off track? How do you stay accountable? And who's going to kick your butt? If you need that stuff, where do you go for that? Finally, you do have the freedom to add some extra rules in place. The one specifically that I recommend is this one for sauces and spices. This is spelled out in one of the handouts that you'll get when you download all these resources on our website. Okay, but there are other rules that you might add. They're entirely up to you. Just don't make too many. Don't make them be no rules where it's don't do this and don't do that and don't do this. It's too much to keep track of and it's depressing. And consider really heavily your environmental rules. We'll talk about that more in the next video as well. Check out our website. If you're not on our website right now, go to our website and watch the next video in the series. That's it. That's the plan, guys. And I've left you 4 example plans here. And I will make sure that these are available to you when you download all these resources as well. Okay. Example plans, typical days for what this might look like. I'll go ahead and delete those now. Just so you can see what a happy plan can be. Again, I thank you for watching all of this. I don't know how long it's going to be when it's all edited together, but it's safe to say it's longer than I originally thought it was going to be. However, I have fully explained everything that I wanted to explain. So I'm happy with the way that it looks like right now. I hope that you can make your own plan using this information. And I hope that if you cannot, there's at least something that I've said that's given you some perspective on other things that you can do to help with the whole process. That's my sincere hope for this. If that is the case, then I'm happy for you. And if you'd like to give me that feedback, contact the office and just let me know that you saw the videos and that you liked it. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment that says, hey, this was helpful. I love that sort of stuff. So I hope this was helpful for you. Once you've watched this full video, then you should be ready to get started, especially once you've watched the whole series. You should have everything you need to make a decision and get started in your own weight loss efforts. Again, if you have any questions, find someone who can give you the answers. If you need to, contact us and we'll do the best we can for you. Thank you for watching this video and the rest of this series. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which I believe will be the 5th and final in the full series. Thank you. Bye.